3, 2, 1, go.
A creative kills his coworker. No, this isn't Coco. It's Columbo.
Woo!
That Stevie came up with that one. Josh hates it because he's not a Coco fan.
Josh hates Coco.
I thought we'd wait for like the spoilers music cue.
Oh, you gave me the countdown. A creative kills his coworker.
You know.
This isn't Coco. This is Columbo Spoilers. Directed by Steven Spielberg and produced by Steven Spielberg.
A completely uneditable start. Let's roll, boys.
Why?
You gotta pump up De La Cruz. Come on.
Don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart.
Columbo is what we do when we have a free night. We want to just do something different, something fun. Mikey's not here, but we have a special guest on this Columbo, and we'll introduce him in a second. And in traditional spoilers fashion, we'll start off with an opening question. This week's opening question, which I'm springing upon the boys, is name and talk about any pre-high school book that you remember. Like any book that you read, was read to you, childhood, junior high, but it's got to be like before the high school cutoff. And I'll go first. This is Pappy, recording from Stevie's basement. Excited to be doing the first episode of Columbo. We teased it for a while.
Kind of
the first episode.
We'll get into
our
If
first
you
episode.
Count, yeah.
We'll get into it. And I remember my grandma reading me a book called The Hungry, Hungry Thing. Did you guys ever read The Hungry, Hungry Thing?
I thought that was a porno.
No, dude. Grandma Norma would not read me a porno. No, it was basically this lizard came to town and he would ask for like some thread and they'd be like, what do we feed the hungry thing? Like they were freaking out. But then the smart little boy's like, oh, he wants bread. And so he brought him bread. And like the last one was, I think, Smoop from a pan or something, and it was soup from a can is what the hungry, hungry thing wanted. So it's a good story. It's a good moral.
What's the moral? Listen.
It was Hungry, Hungry Hippo?
No, the hungry, hungry thing. I'm pretty sure there's a rainbow about it. Go check it out.
It's like don't judge people with speech impediments. Is that the
Don't give
moral?
a mouse a cookie. Is that what we're saying?
If an invasive species comes to your home, you have to feed it and nurture it, I guess.
Unless they're military, then you can't.
The hungry thing did say thank you at the end. So maybe it was just about manners. I don't know. Hopefully that's enough time, though. Stevie, you have a book you remember?
My brain is mush, actually, personally, after that remembrance.
I just remember I'm a horrific procrastinator, have been my entire life. And I feel like I work better in those kind of situations where you have 8 hours to get something done, you get it done. Mm-hmm. I just want to go back to Stanley Yelnats. Remember the book Holes?
Oh, yeah.
I remember I had like a 15-page book report that was due. I can't remember if it was 6th grade or 7th grade. And I started on a Saturday night. And then I think I got to like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Went about my Sunday like normal. And then Sunday night, pretty much was up all night getting it done for Monday morning, got it done. But I just remember the book Holes.
Why didn't you just watch the movie?
This is before the movie.
Holes? I thought that was a porno.
Well,
That keeps working.
Yeah.
it really does. A lot of these books keep working, Josh.
Beloved
I'm interested to
childhood
see.
classics.
I'm going to work
I'm
this
interested
angle
to see
all
if you can
night.
keep it going.
Okay.
I'm glad it's plural too. Holes, not just hole.
Not just whole.
Going airtight. Josh, what about you?
Jesus.
This is Josh from Goshen. I remember I used to say my favorite book as a kid was Island of the Blue Dolphins. But for this question, I want to go with Mr. Drescher in 5th grade read us aloud at Oxbow Elementary. My Brother Sam is Dead. It's a Revolutionary War tale. And let me tell you, about 3/4 of the way through the book, Brother Sam gets firing squad.
Damn.
Dead.
Spoiler.
And that's no porno. No. Although he did get fucked. But they said he was stealing cattle, and I don't think he was the one stealing cattle. He was just sticking up for some of his friends, you know? Then the
What-
firing squad at
Was
him.
the dolphin one happier?
Island of the Blue... No, her brother dies.
This chick's like half naked on an island, so I now see why Josh really liked it.
Why? Speaking of Bubba Jordan, why do you love books where the brother dies? Your two favorite books are
My brother Jordan is dead.
Jeez.
Can I introduce Jason, though?
I think you should.
I invited him on. Papa's going to host and steer the episode, but Jason, we have a lot of lore. I instantly trusted you to jump on the pod because of how much like media experience you had, but I didn't know until recently how much Columbo experience you had.
Yeah.
We worked in TV like feels like a lifetime ago together, but I guess what we typically do here on Spoilers is just say like who you are, where you're recording from, and then what's that book that you'd like to mention?
This is Jason calling in from Mishawaka, Indiana, not Oxbow Park or whatever. And the book I would like to talk about, and I was horrible with books, especially before high school. And I seriously, one point, because this was before internet, because I'm old, I actually made up a book and did a book report on it. And knowing that the teacher would not be able to find the book anywhere, so the book report couldn't be wrong.
Wait, so you wrote a book?
I wrote a book report about a book I made up.
Book.
On a fake book.
It would have been impressive if you wrote a whole book. That'd be like some J.R.R. Tolkien shit. Like, I wrote a book just to do a fake report on the book for a school report.
I remember I did try to read The Time Machine the one time, the H.G. Wells, and the teacher just totally called me out on it because I didn't read it. And she was asking me things, and I was like, I don't know.
What was the fake book about, Jason?
I've been trying to think about that. It was just, something very just kind of boring, kids doing something, and probably some murder mystery where his partner kills his partner. No, wait, that's the Columbo show.
Yeah.
No, I think you're on to something. They were writers.
Yes. But yeah, no, I was never really a big book guy. That's why I got into the visual media arts, because I've always been, let's watch TV, let's watch the old shows, let's watch Gen X television.
It's nice to have someone on the pod less read than us, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you would fit in with David Cassidy's father, Jack Cassidy, which Josh
Sean and David's father.
Correct. Fair enough. Partridge Family ties in. But Stevie, we should, before we even get into it, acknowledge the other Steven in the room, Spielberg, that is. Did you notice anything just generally in this episode that stood out? Like we said, this is like the first episode of Columbo, but it's kind of the third. Set the stage here a little bit with that.
So, I mean, this does stay in line with how Columbo operates, right? Which is we get the story before Columbo ever enters. We get a 25-minute kind of breakdown, little mini episode of stasis, what the situation is, then the murder, then Columbo. One thing I noticed a lot from the very first start of like this episode is just camera movement, camera angles.
Yeah.
It takes like surprising directions doing the exact same thing, which I know it's fun to a degree, but just seeing like a car pull into a parking garage from 4 different angles in a matter of 10 seconds is always cool. I also noticed a lot of this episode, Columbo closer to, just a lot of close-ups on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Some wide angle shit going on.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I just noticed, Peter Falk looks 65. I think he's 37 in this
That's
episode.
so crazy. Yeah. Describe him as oven mitt face or
catcher's mitt face. He does.
Yeah,
He's got the catcher's mitt face. No one's ever called Peter Falk a
He's
looker.
got a way
man.
better head of hair than I'll ever have.
Yeah, I mean, no one's ever called him a looker, but one thing I noticed just from the jump of this episode's camera movements and also the close-ups on Columbo that we don't see a whole lot going forward with the episodes that we've done, at least.
Mm-hmm. We just saw a shot of Jack Cassidy, the aforementioned, who plays Ken. Half of his face is in shadow and half of his face is in the light, and he's lying over the phone and with his face is in the shadow. Some really good stuff. But Jason, Stevie mentioned the stasis. What's the general gist of the setup that we get in this 20-minute part? Who are the victim? Who's the murderer? How do we start at Columbo here?
Well, you got the two characters, the Jack Cassidy and I get Ken Franklin and Jim Ferris. Those are the writing team. Is it Mrs. Morrow or what was the name of the
Melville.
Mrs.
Melville? Kind of an Agatha Christie type of thing. They were the authors of the series of books that were murder mystery. The main writer wanted to go off on his own, and Jack Cassidy, who hadn't been writing quite as bit as the other guy and was the brains behind it, decided that he didn't want to give up that money and that lifestyle that he was so used to. So he decided to take him out, and that way he could continue to get the royalties and all of that from the books that they had written and sold. So that's when he invited him out to the cabin. And
what do you think they wanted to do in that cabin? Like, what was the plan that was being like? What was like the bro hangout
How
sesh?
close of buddies are they, Jason?
I don't think, because of the guy, the Jim, not Ken. He was like, "Oh, I don't normally do this. I'm worried about my wife." So
Yep.
Jack was kind of like, "Hey, come on out, let's swing, man." And then he made him call his wife, and I'm still working, so he made him lie to his wife, and it was just totally out of character for this guy. And Ken was trying to loosen him up to have some fun, but he was just setting him up.
I think Pappy is kind of getting at the mystery of like they're such good writing partners. They've been partners for a
And they were
long time.
roommates, yeah.
Is there some like relationship jealousy? I know, Stevie, you're picking that up, right? Is this really about him not writing books, or is this about him moving in with this new woman?
Well, I mean, clearly Jack Cassidy's character, Ken, needs money.
Yeah.
What is he spending money like? Like a pirate?
Drunken sailor.
Oh, I thought it was a pirate hooker, but it's a drunken
Probably
sailor.
on pirate hookers, too.
That was the 4th episode.
But, I mean, this guy's spending money all over town. He obviously lives a very lavish lifestyle.
He has a Rembrandt or something.
Yeah, and he drives a super sweet Mercedes. I mean, his house looks insane. Not the cabin, but his house just looks nuts. And he doesn't have a creative bone in his body. So he needs to keep that money pipeline going. But also, the vibes this man gives off, I have nothing against, the gay community at all, but I would not be shocked if he was gay. He just seems very zesty in all of his mannerisms.
He's got some flair to him.
Like when he's trashing the office,
Flamboyant.
he does it in a very clean and kind of prim way.
He's sashayed between
Dude,
his destruction.
he sachets and he's kind of a dandy, not gonna lie.
I'll say he's well put together. Yeah, he's a heartthrob.
I have a tough time believing this man's a Lothario all around town with all these different women. I just do.
It's got a cover story. Yeah. He even
He had
says,
a turtleneck too, didn't he?
yeah, he has a turtleneck. He tells Jim, "You'll be the first man I've brought back to the cabin."
Sure. Sure.
This week? What do you mean? Yeah, there's definitely some of that going on.
Yeah. What is is he Tinder guy? Is he a Bumble guy? Or is he a Grinder guy?
You know it.
Grinder guy.
It's all three, I think.
Well, and you said he'd have a creative bone in his body. Was the relationship really just one is the PR guy and one is the writer?
Well, they
That's
developed the
crazy.
character together, right?
He deserves something then, right? Like,
Well, I think he was always going to get like half of the residuals, but he wanted... I mean, we're going to get into the whole insurance thing later, but... I don't know.
you got to be fucking up to like, if it's a best-selling book series, it's just pumping out money to fuck up the royalties and be that broke.
Sounded like maybe early on Jack had the confidence, and the other guy just being kind of timid wouldn't have gotten to where he was if Jack wasn't there, kind of pushing for the deals, working with people to get the book deal, and the other guy wouldn't have done that had it not been for Ken. He was the schmoozer.
One thing that also goes unsaid is like if an author or a co-author dies, maybe those books would start selling more because there'd be like more drama, more attention to the whole situation. So either way you slice it, it's very cold because clearly they're partners and have been friends for a long time, but Jack Cassidy doesn't think twice about taking him out. Like, he's smiling. He's got like these little smirks in the lead up when he's like, ooh, this plan's working out perfectly. This is going to go great.
There's a lot of foreshadowing with him just like pointing the gun right at Jim when he first knocks on the door.
What was the plan, though? If Jim had said, "Can't today, Jack. I got a tea time at 1." Like, he has no bullets. What's the plan? Like, another time, or
just not gonna work ever?
is he like, what's the plan here? He has to have a backup plan somewhere, or is he just that non-creative where he's like, I got one shot?
He knew Jim couldn't resist the allure of going back to the cabin with him.
In the 70s, there were a lot of cabins like that.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of fur rugs and, I'm sure Jack was a chain guy and lots of oils and stuff.
What do you think it'd smell like in there?
Oh, yeah. Probably mahogany and
wood.
Definite mahogany. That's where I was going with that. Maybe a little cinnamon sprinkled in.
Ooh.
English leather.
Josh, I do want to get into the specific mechanics of the murder.
English, not Scottish or
English
French leather.
What we don't know what the backup plan was, but thankfully Jim does accompany him. What's the ruse here?
Yeah, he's going to take. Jason was getting at it earlier, but he's like, I'm going to take you, my best friend, out to my cabin, and when we get there, you're going to call your wife and tell her you have to stay at the office late. So therefore in creating an automatic alibi, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to hide the body for a while. We don't know exactly what he's going to do with it yet, but the police will go to the murder scene, which is his office, and there's like stuff tossed around. It looks almost like a suicide setup, like he like wigged out or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a very zestily kind of created scene.
He forgot his lighter up there. That's not really consequential.
He leaves the lighter, but then goes back to get it.
Yeah.
The shot lingers on it with, again, cool Spielberg camera movement, like pivot to the lighter, pivot back to.
But red herring, and never talk about the lighter again.
Show gun twice though. Like reveal gun, actually use gun. That's always a fun part. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's
But like phone calls are a big part of the murder cover up too, right? Like he goes to the local shopkeep.
Just really places this in time. With cell phones, this could never happen.
It's like if cell phones could ruin Seinfeld. It's like cell phones would just ruin Columbo.
With any kind of like normal call records too.
Yeah, like, well, it pinged out here and you said you were here, but really you pinged right here.
Yeah.
There's several instances here, but I think the quintessential one, we're skipping over a couple phone things here, but the quintessential one is that when what are the two main guys' names? Ken. The partners are Ken and Jim. Ken convinces Jim to call his wife. So Jim picks up the phone and says, "Operator." This is how old this is. He's like, "Operator, can," and before he can finish his sentence, Ken hits the hang up button. He's like, "No. If you really want to trick your old woman, you have to dial the area code directly. Don't talk to the operator. It's 213.
Also kind of a red herring. I thought that would come back later. They were like, there were 2 calls placed. Why would you hang up when you talk to the operator?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that's good for a mystery show to have some red herrings, some things for you to like chalk around a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and Jim's wife hears him get shot over the phone while he's presumably in his office. And again, everything goes exactly according to plan for Ken because she immediately calls the police and they rush to his office.
Was this a little surprising to you?
In what way?
That's our second cabin murder in Columbo.
In our 5 episodes. No, I think it's like by shooting him while he's live on the phone with her, he gives himself kind of a time limit. He could have just let him hang up with his wife, killed him, and took the whole weekend to hide his body out in the boonies. And that's what I thought was going to happen. Like, he's got a messed up office. He seems suicidal, and he's disappeared. They don't know. But instead, he, like, makes it a murder case.
The second half of his plot is less well constructed, I think.
Well, he didn't write it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point.
That's the thing.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Jason? I feel like I cut you off there.
I don't think I was going to say anything.
What a good old boy.
I do want to point out that this was written by Stephen Bochco, who was Hill Street Blues, L.A. Law, NYPD Blue. This is one of his earlier written for television along with Spielberg.
Steven and Steven working together.
Yeah.
It really was incredible to get Steven Spielberg to direct your first episode of a show.
24-year-old.
Seeing his name is so crazy at the beginning and the end. Like, what the fuck? It's surreal. But yeah, there's also, Stevie, like an element of the mafia too. Like, I don't want to linger too much on the setup, but like we said, as the lie goes on, it becomes less clear in terms of what the exact, end game is here.
On a normal episode, Columbo would be like, the first half was way better than the second half, but like at the same time, this dude's kind of a shit writer. He wants to be a writer, but he's not good at it, right? Mm-hmm. He's losing that creative arm through Jim, and so it makes sense where we'd be going, why would he do that? But in his brain, it's like, no, this is a good idea. But anyone who kind of sees it in layman terms be like, no, like, this obviously isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. I mean, just the idea of just wait till he hangs up the phone, then shoot him.
Yeah.
Puts him in the trunk of his car, for Christ's sakes.
Why even have to tie in the mafia?
And then he's like, look, there's Columbo, Luke Casey, Francesi, like all these names. You're like, all mafia names. That's it.
Second episode where the mafia is falsely accused of a murder.
And the mafia catch a break?
And second episode where a jilted lover blackmails the hero for love or the murderer for lover money. But Jason, we should probably mention the man himself. This is your first episode of spoilers, your first Columbo review.
Yeah.
I just want to hear some thoughts that you have on Columbo. Why do you love our little guy so much?
Oh man, when I stumbled across it, because nobody was like, when I first started watching Columbo in the 90s, I was like on A&E, and I was going to college at the time, and I was in between classes, and I would catch this, and I would be like, I don't know why, I just got drawn to it. I was, it was on, and then I was like, well, he's just frumpy and he's dumb, but he's, what's he doing? He knows what he's doing. He's genius, but he's just messing with them. He's toying with them. And the more I watch it, the more I'm like, okay, let's see. You get to see how it's done first, and then you get to see him try and figure it all out little by little. And just kind of just twisting that knife into the person, just shows up, and you're like, he can't get rid of the guy. You would be so annoyed by this guy, but he just was like, what's he gonna do next? He's, he just makes him squirm and squirm and squirm, and I just love that aspect of it. You know what happened, but he doesn't know how it's done, but he's just figuring it out, and he's just got a mind for it.
We call it psychological warfare. The whole Columbo noose tightening that he does.
I think he even dresses that way just to be, to make him not be so, they're not intimidated by him. Mm-hmm. So he can just kind of go around and do whatever he wants and just show up anywhere, and they're just mad that he's there and, just as annoying them, but had he come in slick and dressed, like Don Johnson in Miami Vice, then, they might not take him as, who is this guy? Why
a pest. Not a threat, just like an annoying fly.
Be a good point, though. I mean, Columbo doesn't wear clothes that fit him.
Yeah.
It's kind of the genius. He always wears a size up. It looks like he's swimming in his clothes.
And that was his raincoat.
Yeah.
Peter Falk's raincoat.
There's also, I think the dynamic works especially well in this first episode, which goes on to set the tone for the series. Side note, apparently it was supposed to be like the fourth episode, but then they moved it up to the first, but it's the third one that's on Tubi. So, yeah.
But there's also like some failed pilots that they then
movies.
Inserted into this quote season.
Where he actually does look young in those early ones.
That was like from 3 years earlier at 68.
Yeah.
This episode, just know that it's murder by the books. Whether it's labeled season 1, episode 1, or season 1, episode 3, doesn't really matter.
But
The other thing, too, is that he doesn't get mad. He is just so fascinated by it's like he wants to become friends with these killers. You know, he never gets like upset. I've seen him in a couple episodes where he gets pissed, and you're like, "Whoa, that's not
Leonard Nimoy."
Leonard
yeah,
Nimoy.
that when he slams that thing down on the desk, I'm like, "Yeah, more."
I think what you're getting at is something that I'm picking up too, Jason, because he's like, we're not there yet in this episode, but he has this way of like asking the most cutting question in the most polite way.
Yeah.
And he always saves that question to last. Just one more thing. Here's the most cutting question I have.
Why wouldn't you take an airplane after your best friend died?
That seems weird.
So
Why wouldn't you?
this is arguably season 1, episode 1, and I do have a little taste here on the soundboard of our first conversation we get with Columbo. He's talking to our lead lady,
Joanna?
Yeah, not Lily. He's talking to Joanna. She's the wife of the murdered writing partner. So
Rosemary Forsyth.
this is part
Great
of their
name.
part of their first conversation.
Oh, I don't think they'll mind. I think you've answered enough questions, and I'll call them and I'll tell them you're with me. Okay?
Well, what about Ken? Why isn't Ken here?
I don't know why he isn't here.
Is that Mr. Franklin, the other half of the writing team?
Yeah, the other half of the team.
You know, that's what I like about these buttons. You don't have to push them. They go off with the heat of your hand. I bet you haven't had anything to eat.
Columbo gets real cozy with her, don't you think, Stevie?
Just a little. I mean, I know he's trying to comfort her, but maybe it's just that Columbo charm that comes off. Looks like he's almost hitting
Take
on
her to the cabin.
Mm-hmm. He goes to her house to make a... He'll do anything but spend time with his wife.
Heaven
Columbo-
forbid we ever see Columbo's wife.
You think he even makes a comment where, like, he's goes to her house, the murder victim's wife's house, and makes her an omelet, and he goes, even my wife likes this one, or something like that.
Even my bitch wife will stomach this.
You know, they did make a show with Columbo's wife.
Did they?
Yes, there was Mrs. Columbo. It was, I believe, in the 80s, and it was they never mentioned Columbo, but it was Columbo's wife.
Interesting.
Is it
Yeah.
the same producers, or you just
No,
have
it
to-
was like, yeah, it was like a total. It was kind of like MASH, and when they did After MASH, where it didn't have any of the same flavor or the tone of that. It was like that. It was like had this very floofy opening and theme song, and it was Mrs. Columbo, and yeah.
What do you guys picture that? I picture her just like sitting at home, drinking martinis, talking to the other housewives all day, bitching about her husband being gone. That's
You know those
from watching Columbo. That's what it seems like.
You know those infomercials where the guy's carrying like a bunch of cleaning products and spills them everywhere?
Yeah.
That's what I picture Mrs. Columbo like. Just an infomercial of spilling shit.
Maybe we'll leave that to the imagination of the audience, or they can just Google it. Because I don't know if we're going to be covering Mrs. Columbo.
We got a
anytime
lot
soon.
more Columbo
Regular Mr. Columbo.
to go. But Stevie, I was gonna say to you too, the dynamic between Columbo and Ken works extra well and establishes the whole tone of the series, where he has this underestimated drunken master posture, specifically because Ken is, of course, a murder mystery writer, so he thinks he knows better than Columbo.
Yeah, I mean, it's our favorite episodes, right? Where the killer immediately like kind of dismisses our guy Columbo. It's one of the better aspects of it because Columbo really is this. I don't know if you can call it like an autistic genius, but like he just has a way of reading people, breaking people down. You know, just kind of just like Jason said, twisting that knife the entire episode. And there's those fun episodes where, you know, they get chummy, like with Johnny Cash. He doesn't even cuff him. He just puts his arm around him and says, "Come here, pal. I'm going to take you to the station for murder." And there's episodes like Dick Van Dyke, where he just can't stand the sight of him. This is more in the line of the Dick Van Dyke type deal, where our killer does not like the sight of Columbo, almost like a cockroach that won't just go away, just constantly scurrying across the kitchen floor. And it really becomes evident when this man murders his blackmailer. Wakes up the next morning, going fishing, coming back in, about to make himself a sandwich in his kitchen. Columbo is literally walking in the background of this man's house, just peering in like a psychopath. He doesn't even have the gall to go to the front door. Just says, you know what? Let me see what he's doing in there. And starts knocking on windows. That's the type of Columbo shit that I love. Just constantly pestering our lead.
Oh, I hope you don't mind. I was just in the neighborhood.
Just 2 hours south in this neighborhood.
In
my French car.
You mentioned the town shopkeep. I don't think we've talked enough about her, Josh. Lily Lasanka, played by Barbara Colby. I like her a lot in this role.
Let's talk about her arc a little bit. We first see her as, she's part of the setup a little bit because Ken drops by this little like convenience mart on his way to his cabin to pick up a few things and to make one of those crucial phone calls we were talking about earlier. But he makes his writing partner Jim. Is it Jim? I keep forgetting that guy's name.
You're so bad with
he dies so early. Who cares about him?
The straight one.
He leaves straight Jim in the car. And he goes in and like is buying these supplies and making the phone call and pretending to this woman that he's alone. And she clearly has the hots for Ken. And he's like, keeps pushing her away. He's like, your teeth are too big for me. I don't like you that much. I have other women on the wing.
Little gummy.
She actually doesn't care about his other women on the wing. She wants him anyway.
She's an amazing actress because she is annoying and like she's trying to be undesirable, right? And she's doing a really good job.
Is this a stalker situation?
Kind of, because if we keep continuing with her arc, the next time we see her, she finds him in the middle of the city.
At a play.
Yeah, at a play. She's like, I thought you might go to this play too.
Yeah.
She's like, Ken! And he's like,
Someone
oh,
who
shit.
shouldn't be, yeah.
And Jason, do you remember this part where she's like, I have dirt? It's one of the more surreal parts of the episode. She's like, I have dirt on you in my story.
Yeah, she was like, hey, this is cool. I got some stuff on you. You want to, talk more about it and maybe hook up while I tell you that I saw you murder this guy?
Very kinky at that point.
Yeah, it was really odd. But then again, her name is Lily Lasanka.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
That was her character name, Lily Lasanka.
Lily and Ken come to the agreement pretty quick. Like, Ken ditches his date and he's like, I gotta pay attention to her after this play because she has dirt on me. They come to this agreement. He's gonna pay her $15,000 to be quiet about it, and they're just like pretty frank about this. I will not mention that I'm a witness to this murder, and you give me $15,000
over a sensual strawberry dessert.
Strawberries on ice.
It's a lot. Wasn't Sanka kind of coffee?
It was, 70s? Yeah. Instant coffee. I don't think it had the crystals in it. Yeah.
How far do you want us to go here with her arc? Because it drives the plot along here a bit.
Well, give me some more in terms of critical commentary. Just like, what did you think? Did you like her as this character? Like I said, it's the second time we've seen... I think that was in the wine episode where we also saw a jilted adjacent woman leverage the situation.
Who's willing to overlook murder for a handsome man.
Because not only do they like, she wants this $15K, but she's kind of also like, I'm DTF, just not in a place where I'm going to get murdered clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty similar to any old port in a storm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exact same plot point.
They recycle a little bit. Now we're watching more episodes, getting kind of into it.
It's like this. There's only so many stories, right? A stranger comes to town.
There's only so many bitch wives.
A man goes on a journey. A man kills his bitch wife.
There's only so many bitch wives you can kill on Columbo.
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest tropes we found, Jason. Is that
a creative, successful man kills his nagging wife.
Kills his nagging
wife.
It's
almost okay.
Pills or something.
We always say, like, I kind of get it. We're not saying he's right, but I kind of get it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just go all the way with it, though. The murder of Lily, notably sloppier, as Columbo says.
Yeah. It's hard to tell how much of this he had planned out, but these strawberries all play into it. They come to this agreement. Do they just continue the date, or is this another date later where he brings her the money?
He goes home, gets the $15K.
Right. He
meets her in the cabin.
They have one date where they just discuss the money, and then the next day is a date where he delivers the money. Things start getting hot and heavy. I think they exchange a couple of smoochies.
Yeah.
She's showing a lot of leg in this part.
Yeah, tell me about that. I don't know if I noticed that quite as much. Tell me about the leg.
I mean, in the first time we see her in the city, long dress, right? There's not a whole lot of cut. Second dress we see when she's in her store cabin, it's a pretty high cut dress, and she's like dangling her leg out there for Mr. Jack Cassidy to see.
You can't resist Lysenko.
Yeah. I mean, it'll sink you. That Lysenko will sink you.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to, take the focus off her teeth down to the
bro.
This is a confusing murder to me, though. Like, I get it, he's popping champagne to, use it as the murder weapon. But there's some things that didn't jive with me. One, like, they can tell, like, they should be able to tell how someone dies.
Yeah.
Like,
drowned versus beat in with
drowned versus blunt, like, strike to the head. Like, it's, come on.
Yeah.
Secondly, this man's supposedly a murderer. He's been around a great murder writer, right? Great murder mystery writer. Those bodies are going to come to the surface at a certain point.
Yeah.
Pretty amateur hour just to not put anything heavy around her and just say, yeah, it is what it is.
He's also wearing like the loudest, most audacious yellow overalls to go survey his murder scene the next day.
You can't miss that. Wear a navy blue, wear a dark blue or a black. Don't wear duck yellow.
I get his motivation to, like, she could just blackmail him forever with this, right? So that's his motivation to kill her.
Just marry her.
But at least string this out a few weeks. Like, having the two dead bodies kind of associated with you back to back is real red flaggy.
There's also this dynamic.
Very serial killer-like.
He has no problem knocking some folks off.
Doesn't tell me it's
Has he done this before, Stevie?
He's pretty chill about it.
Killed people all over the Pacific Northwest, I think.
I mean, Jim's not his first writing partner. It's happened before.
Well, think about it. He murdered his partner, and all in that same week. She wasn't planned. So all of a sudden, he's dealing with Columbo, and then he gets this blackmail lady. And now, he's got to be rattled about the whole thing. He murdered somebody. He's got Columbo to deal with. And then now this lady. And then he probably starts not thinking too straight during that time when he knocks her off. He just wants it to be done.
Mm-hmm. There's one...
He'd rather kill her than have sex with her. I think that's what Stevie was saying earlier.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's easier
Put a
this
bag
way.
over her head.
God.
Picture her with a penis.
Okay, I brought up the teeth jokes, but she's an attractive lady.
Yeah, she's playing a character. Yeah.
And unfortunately...
Spielberg does that. Spielberg does that shot. Doesn't do her any favors while he's killing her. She's like looking right into the camera, and it's like one of those fisheye lens type of
not
shots.
flattering.
Yeah, there's some
so you're seeing
unnatural
that
close-ups.
nose.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Intense.
I know
whole strawberry sequence.
Brett's not on this pod, but unfortunately, just a few short years after this Columbo episode, she was really murdered in what is today still an unsolved murder mystery.
What?
Really unfortunate. Yeah,
That's crazy.
She was shot to death.
She was like at a writing class with a friend, and like a van pulled up, shot him, and left.
Damn.
Well, you know about Jack, how he went, didn't you?
No. How'd Jack Cassidy die?
He died in a fire. He fell asleep with cigarettes and died in his apartment.
Damn.
Fire.
Sheesh.
Yeah, in a chair. They got, you can go find some of the pictures of, he died at, I think, 49. And just,
so get out of that Frizzly Army looking shit and stop smoking that dope.
No, Josh.
Just trying to lighten the mood, fellas.
Cigarette.
I'm sorry.
We don't got the Bee Gees playing.
I did not know that. That's not considered like a unsolved or mysterious or suspicious murder situation.
No, it was just basically, I think he was a heavy smoker, and he.
I thought that was very common back in the day.
Yeah.
Like house
Yeah.
fires from falling asleep on the recliner and smoking.
I won't believe any death is of natural causes unless Columbo tells me so. I need him to confirm there's no more things before I believe there wasn't foul play involved. Did you like this shot, Stevie? I'm going to hold it up to you. But this was like the most 70s shot. I don't know if you remember
The glimmer?
but the glimmer on the water.
I dug it.
It was pretty cool. I'm like, you only ever see that.
I dug that. It almost reminded me of the chess episode, just kind of that shiny, glimmery feel.
Mm-hmm.
I like that quite a bit, actually, Pat. I'm glad you brought that up. It had a very... You're right, it's very 70s, right? Just kind of that diamondy, shiny type feel to it.
Yeah, it feels like an ABBA.
Star filter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Soul Train.
I mean, that's
used to have
Spielberg, too.
We used to have a star filter at LaCie Broadcasting.
We did. We'd use it up on that big wide shot.
I don't know what happened to that.
Just give me that and a disco ball, and we had a good Saturday morning special.
We got a stew going.
Josh, I don't think we've talked enough about the clues. Like, are there any that stand out to you? Just specifically, all this time Columbo is tightening the noose. But what are some of the things that he picks up and starts to use as psychological warfare?
Well, one of the big ones is that there's like, maybe you guys can actually fill me in. I don't know if I fully understood this, and I have a clip for it, but like, there's something going down with the insurance where if the partner dies, Ken gets helped out, right? Mm-hmm. I think. Here's the clip. Columbo's just having like a hot dog with an insurance agent.
Oh, this is official business.
Yeah. There are two mystery writers, Ken Franklin and James Ferris. Your company wrote a policy on them?
Now, wait a minute, Lieutenant. We like to cooperate with the police, but if you want confidential information, I'm afraid...
Oh, well, look, I don't want to cause you any trouble. Maybe it would be more helpful if I got a court order.
So this insurance agent doesn't want a court order. I understand that, Stevie, but like what do you think was in like the insurance agreement? Like, why is this murder beneficial to Ken? Wouldn't Jim's money go to his family?
I don't think so. I think it would probably go to Ken.
The royalties of the royalties of the books they wrote together are split between Jim's estate and Ken. Mm-hmm. But like how you would take out insurance on a musician or an actor or a professional athlete or something, in the event that they died, Ken would get paid for all of the future earnings that they would lose, like a life insurance policy, basically. Yeah.
So he'd just get a big payout
because no one knew that they were done writing the Mrs.
Exactly.
Yeah, Melville. What was her name?
Mrs. Melville.
Mrs. Melville books, right? So, in theory, they have unlimited future earnings, basically.
Exactly. He could just cash in like crazy.
There's no way those books were good, right? They were.
Are they supposed to be like Agatha Christie level kind of?
Kind of like dime store mystery, like Hardy Boys, but for the 40-year-old.
They're selling autographed hardbacks though. They're making bank.
I mean,
you can afford the Rembrandt.
Yeah.
Like, let's see.
The Hardley Brothers.
Let's follow your clue.
The name of the hot dog stand where the insurance salesman and Columbo meet is called the Tail of the Dog. Pretty good.
That.
It's a good hot name for a hot dog. Dog stand.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Led Zeppelin song or something.
Sounds like a porno.
Bringing it full circle.
There was other circumstantial evidence, Stevie. Do you remember? Like there was like, as we mentioned, the flight, the mail. It's a lot of little things.
The folded paper in the pocket.
Because that whole Maka thing makes no sense. They've been calling the Dons, and no one's heard of this guy. So it's like,
I like how Columbo's like, I called them. They didn't know anything, and he's like, of course they didn't.
Yeah.
Like the big one to me though, the absolute big one to me though, is the pulling a $15,000 out and putting it back in the bank.
Yeah.
Once you pull that 15 out, pal, you just gotta spend it. Mm-hmm. You can't put it back in the goddamn bank unless you owe money all over town. Mm-hmm. Like it's my thinking of it, but you just have to squirrel that money away and spend it very small.
But Columbo has no smoking gun. Jason, do you remember the final twist or how Columbo is able to nail Ken.
It was the notes on the book that because the wife said something to the fact that he always wrote everything down, every idea he had, and that kind of tripped Columbo to go, ooh, there must be something more in that office that I haven't looked for yet, that he must have written this down. If I can find that, and that might tie it all together. And he found the notes about the new book that he was getting ready to write, and it was basically what had happened.
I'm going to say a nice thing and a thing in terms of critical commentary. I like that that's foreshadowed to us in the beginning when Jim is like having deja vu driving out to this cabin, right? Like he remembers the plot, but he doesn't remember the plot. Like we've mentioned many times, though.
Yeah, true.
This is not enough of a smoking gun to convict in any way, shape, or form, right? Like the fact that the story existed, like.
It's more so just like the psychological warfare has reached a peak where the opponent folds. But I do have a clip where he says like exactly what the plot of that little idea was. Jason, I loaded this clip wrong, so you're not going to be able to hear it. But here's the clip.
Idea for a Melville book, perfect alibi. A wants to kill B. Drives B to a remote house and has him call his wife in city. Tells her he's working late at the office. Bang, bang. Sound familiar? That's the plot you used. Practically word for word.
It's the only good idea I ever came up with.
Yeah, a little bit of a convoluting little last quote is Ken is like, I did steal all my ideas from my writing partner, but that was actually my idea that he subconsciously...
The one where he gets caught.
Well, it's like he thought of that idea a long time ago, and his writing partner subconsciously thought of it again 5 years later and wrote it down. That's like a weird thing to be wrapped up in at the end of an episode. It's really like esoteric or something.
Well, you were talking about the smoking gun.
I don't know.
And
we've had a couple episodes of Columbo where the ending felt rushed. This one felt rushed. Sorry, Jason, what were you going to say, though?
I was just going to say that, even though you might not have a smoking gun with Columbo, I think by the time he gets done with that person, they're going to confess just to get him out of their hair. And, he's about driven them mad. And so they're probably getting confessions more than, the smoking gun. I think he would have confessed.
Yeah.
The electric chair is better than having to deal with this little Italian
get him
man
away from me.
buzzing in my ear.
Well, there's inevitability, right, to it. Like he's like, I know you did it. I know you did it. And I can just keep pushing on this trail until I do get the real evidence I need. But it's really is a psychological warfare, Pat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes them buckle.
Yeah. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Stevie, could you give me my phone? I think it's over there by you. Do you see it? But any Jason, anything you remember? It's behind you over there. Stevie, thank you. I had a couple written down.
After watching, all the episodes, I always thought that Jack Cassidy was probably one of the best villains. He did 3 episodes, and each one was very distinctive. You didn't remember the other characters that he had played, so he was a fantastic actor, and I just thought it was fascinating that he could play 3 different villains within the same series and pull it off amazingly. So,
do you have any dossiers on what his other characters were, just briefly?
One was the magician. That was a very interesting one, and how he made the person disappear, and then the timing of his trick, and then the murder that happens. But again, he's with what I find fascinating about Columbo is that all his murder mysteries are with these higher echelon people that are just like wealthy and whatnot, and they always just underestimate him. But like when he's talking to that insurance adjuster, he's down a little bit more. When you see him interacting with more of a blue collar, just run of the mill guy, he's a totally different character than when he's talking with the well to do and all these people that he gets involved with their murder mysteries.
The well-to-do guy, there's a lot of, I'm sorry, sir, just one more thing, Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah.
There's a
mean to
cast
bother
feel
you.
to it.
I know, because I don't understand, so just one thing that's not clear to me, like Columbo's like, I'm the dumb one, help me, could you just explain this thing that must be so obvious to you, doctor, musician, famous photographer, wine connoisseur, author.
Is it a cast or caste? What they have in India, like you're part of these like echelons of society. Yeah, I'm really feeling that here. In like we're watching the scene with Lily. She's clearly not in the top echelon. She's more like Columbo's level, right? The insurance salesman on a level with him, the cops, and I think that's interesting. That's something we're gonna have to keep looking out for in future Columbo episodes. I think the good thing is. It seems like he's like babying and sucking up to the rich folk, but it's always for the end of taking them down. So it's like you can stomach it.
Yeah.
And you see it, in every episode. You can be like, "Oh, we know what he's doing. We know what he's doing," and the writing of it is just fantastic because you just, each time you're like, "How's he gonna do it?" And the guy doesn't know yet, and you almost at some point you want the murderer to win. You're annoyed by Columbo, but it's not going to turn out that way. But it's you're annoyed with him by the end, but you're just fascinated and thrilled with the hour that you spent.
My only last final thought is that talk about Steven Spielberg directing this bold choice at the very top of the episode. The first minute and 46 seconds, there's no net sound, there's no dialogue, there's just a typewriter in your ear.
Very Hitchcock.
And a minute and 46 seconds. So it's like a significant fraction of the full episode is just this typewriter in your ear.
There's also a scene where Columbo finds the cork that was fired off, and that's like just dead quiet, that whole scene too, where Columbo's just kind of looking around the room. That was really interesting. Really good bit of foreshadowing too at the beginning where Jim says something like, I know you're not going to actually shoot me when he's playing that trick. He's like, otherwise you'd have gloves on. And like later on we see him with gloves on, like clearly like in the front of the frame, like, oh yeah, it's about to go
happening.
down. Yeah.
That's another thing a lot of people in the 70s must have had is driving gloves. We've seen that in almost every episode of Columbo. Like that'd be just so odd. I don't know anyone with that.
The knuckles are cut out because you don't want to restrain your knuckles.
I give Josh a ride to Stevie's house whenever we come here, and he sits in the back seat, which is already weird, but then he makes me wear a scarf and goggles as I drive him around with my driving gloves. I don't know what he's talking about.
I have demands. My spoilers contract has very specific demands.
Don't talk to him. Put up the divider.
Is Josh wearing an ascot as well?
Yeah.
And a monocle.
Just one more thing, Mr. Josh.
One of those cigarette holders.
Let's we here for yes or no before we get into it. First episode of Columbo. I'll go first. Pretty hard yes. I think this would be like top 3. It really does make a difference with the Spielberg directing. Like there's a lot of like handheld shit too in this. Like it really was like a well shot episode of television. One shot in particular, like in the general store where it's pivoting back between Sanka and Jack Cassidy. It's like, oh man, this feels like a shot from Jaws, the way the camera's moving around and panning and stuff. Classic psychological warfare, fun red herrings. Good overall episode. Give it a yes. Josh?
Yeah, huge yes. I don't think this is in my like top 2 or 3 memorable ones of the 5 we've done. So maybe about in the mid pack, but the watchability of this one was insane. I just wanted it to keep rolling. Jack Cassidy's performance is awesome. Just the pacing of everything, the writing, Peter Falk, of course, too. But it was also just fascinating. Like I read a quote that some of the producers on this show said that Steven Spielberg directing this first episode, their quote was something like, set the visual grammar for what the show would become. And I feel like that's a really good way to describe kind of like the feel we got when we watched this episode. Like, you can tell who the villain is. You can relate to Columbo in a specific way they keep doing a lot of these things. That's a 24-year-old Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, 24.
Set a track for.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. And is this our last episode of Columbo spoilers?
No.
Okay.
Never.
What are you talking about?
Okay, good. Well,
Why are you always trying to end it?
why am I always trying to drown it out in the middle of a lake in the middle of the night?
Getting Columbo drunk. And
It's just not super topical, guys. I'm worried about plays and popularity sometimes with our podcast, you know?
It's only gotten stronger.
Before, sorry to interrupt you, so no, we had someone request this specific episode, Josh.
Yes.
We got to remember that.
Friend D. Striker David, he said, awesome stuff. You know, Spielberg directed the first episode of Columbo. Hope you cover that one too. Your wish is our command, sir. We got you.
Yeah, I will. Let's see. I'll give this a hard yes. I agree with everything you guys have said. It really does feel like Spielberg directing this laid the kind of foundation and groundwork to what Columbo would become. Mm-hmm. And you know, even though this episode did have the absence of a Columbomb, as I call him, kind of that just nail in the coffin, you know, dead to rights moment that I love in certain Columbo episodes. I think Jack Cassidy and Peter Falk's chemistry is undeniable. It's just fun to watch Peter Falk pester him for, you know, an hour and a half. And, you know, for an episode 1 of a series that I hold near and dear to my heart, this is a hell of an episode 1. So, definite hard yes. Not my favorite Columbo episode we've done so far, but definite hard yes. Probably top 3.
Yeah. And
Feels fully fleshed out. Like
Yeah.
there's a whole world behind this already.
Yes.
In episode 1. I agree.
Yeah, it's wild that, like, and the thing is too is the Columbo we see in episode 1 is the Columbo we see in episode 40. There's no major change. Like, well, what season 1's a little different than season 3, or really didn't pick up.
Wait,
No,
I thought he
that's
got
just-
divorced though.
That's just Columbo right there.
Didn't he get divorced at some point along the line?
I'm sure.
Off screen? Didn't
Off
we talk
screen,
about
he does
this?
get divorced, yes.
Not in an episode.
The closest you see, I remember, the closest come to you see, like, actually him seeing his wife was on a cruise when Columbo goes on a vacation.
Columbo goes on a cruise?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
an
that was a
awesome
good one.
episode.
Well, of course,
Great
he
episode.
has to solve a murder while on vacation.
It's a great episode.
The Mexico one too. That was great with Ricardo Montalban.
What? Yeah, we're never stopping doing
the bullfighter.
Dude, they get pretty wild when you get into later seasons.
Dude, and then once we're done with all the episodes of Columbo, we have Mrs. Columbo to look forward to.
I brought her up. That was in 1979 to 1980, and Kate Mulgrew is the girl who played Mrs. Columbo. For Mrs. Columbo, mistakenly thought to be the wife of Lieutenant Columbo, she was an American crime drama television series initially based on the wife of Lieutenant Columbo. The title
And
character.
then they had to
from the
backtrack on that, or what?
In the opening, you see his car
Whoa!
in the driveway. So she's got a Pinot, and his little French thing is in front of her as she's walking into the house.
All right. Well, we don't want to get too many spoilers for
I'm like
Mrs.
reading the
Columbo.
Wikipedia page of Mrs. Columbo.
I like her to be a mystery, to be honest.
All right, Jason, before you give your yes or no, the last, I keep thinking of final thoughts too. Like, I know we've been a little silly with the subtext. It's there. Like, I'm not right. He's clearly gay. They're
Clearly.
lovers. Like, yeah, that's cool for like a 70s show to do it in their own way. Like, we weren't just like pulling that out of nowhere. Okay, glad we're not crazy. But sorry, Jason, yes or no? And thanks again for coming on the episode. That was a last minute call.
Oh my gosh.
Josh called you on the ride over. I heard him
Mikey
from the
backed
back
out
seat. Yeah.
from the back seat. Shut up.
So glad you were able to come on. It was awesome meeting you. But yeah, do you want to give a yes or no? And say a few
This is
final
definitely a yes in my top 5 Columbos. This definitely has to be up there. First time I watched it, this was long before internet and all that. I didn't know Spielberg directed it. And at the very end, I was just like so into the show. And then I see Steven Spielberg. I even had to think, was that the Steven Spielberg? Or so
Yeah.
that was a little cherry on the top when I first watched the episode, because I had no clue that he had done that. But yeah, definitely top 5. From what I heard, that this episode was so strong that there was another first episode that they decided to go with this one because they knew it was stronger than because I guess they already had another show in the can, and they decided to air the Spielberg episode for their first episode because they figured it would do a lot better. And also, I'm going to bore you with some more facts. Did you know for how Columbo actually aired on NBC? He was part of the NBC Mystery Movie, and they rotated shows every week. So one week you'd have Columbo. The next week in that same time slot, you'd have McCloud starring Dennis Weaver. And then the following week, you'd have McMillan and Wife starring Rock Hudson. And then they would go back to a Columbo episode. So Columbo wasn't like on every week. It was the NBC Mystery Movie, and it was in rotation with these two other shows.
Who is straighter, Rock Hudson or
Jack Cassidy? Well, I saw Jack Cassidy and Rock Hudson play in Sticky Fingers one time, and
that could be a porno. But if you didn't know, Jason, we like to wrap up our episodes with a little bit of trivia. This will be a pretty quick one, and we've done a very similar game before, but I'm not even going to really explain it. We're just going to play it. So, Stevie, I want you to name a book.
Well, tell them what you get if you win.
I'm going to bring a sweet treat.
Hot take.
Oh, a hot take. If you get the closest
have a hot
to,
take and send us out.
And you say, take it away, spoiler man, if you win. You can have a hot take on anything.
The floor is yours at the end of the episode if you win.
Pretty big deal, but well, you'll pick it up as we're going. But Stevie, give Josh a book. Just name any book for Josh.
Any book?
Any book.
The Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay. Josh, how many pages does that book have?
Oh, I think that's a long...
It's a thickums.
850.
Okay. Do you want to know as we go, or do you want to...
I want the mystery to build up.
All right. Josh, give a book to Jason.
How many rounds of this are we going to do?
Just one.
It's whoever's closest to what you
One
have to
closest
guess.
to
We're not going to go back around.
Nope.
I'll do War and Peace.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus Christ.
How many
I want to
pages?
win.
How many
Front and
pages?
back?
Yeah. Front and back.
I'm going to go 1,500. Probably that's on the low end, too.
All right, Jason. Name any book. That's a real book, mind you. We will check. The internet exists now for Stevie.
Not a fake book report book. Is that what
Yeah.
reference?
I'll do the one I didn't read. We'll do the Time Machine, H.G. Wells.
The Time Machine by H.G. Wells.
I think that's like 10 pages.
How many pages, Stevie?
439.
Love the guess. 39.
39.
Okay.
It's like The Price is Right.
So, we'll start with you, Stevie. You guessed 439 pages for The Time Machine. The actual retail number of pages was 118.
Damn it.
So you're off by 321 pages. No! Josh, you thought The Count of Monte Cristo, the bigger, longer, uncut version, has 1,276 pages. No, you said 850. Sorry,
Yeah.
It has 1,276.
You didn't say bigger, longer, uncut. You said theatrical version.
It implied. It's 423.
So am I winning right now?
You are in first place.
Good luck with War and Peace, Jason.
Jason,
Yeah. That's 5.
claims to have never read a book.
No.
You guessed
TV, man.
1,500 pages. Actual retail number of pages is 1,225 with a mere difference of 275.
Good job.
Jason, like I said, the floor is yours to say anything.
Wow.
And then, as the end of spoilers, say, take it away, spoiler man.
You have to say that.
Whenever you're
Take
done.
it away. Okay. Well, if I do have the floor here, I'm going to talk about Josh for just quite a second.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Josh probably knows where I'm going with. Who do you guys think is Josh's doppelganger? I've had one for a long time, and Josh doesn't agree.
Luke Skywalker, maybe?
No. I mean, I don't know how long his
Rambis?
hair. That could be. No,
It's
I'm
like
talking.
less flattering, but more flattering at the same time.
Is your hair long right now?
No.
Or are you
Shaggy.
Shaggy? Well, I knew him when it was real tight and almost like not really a shave, but it was very, very short. And I thought no mustache or anything at the time. He was James Bond, Daniel Craig.
Oh.
See what I mean by flattering, but kind of like he's 20 years older than me, so.
I could see this.
Daniel Craig and Knives Out?
Yeah, I could see this.
Yep.
All right.
That's
I think Daniel. You know what? I've grown to accept this one, Jason. I'm not. mad about that.
it was always a compliment. Freaking James Bond. And
Benoit Blanc.
I want to talk about Jason really quick. Jason's one of the funniest people I've ever met. I hope that we have him on the spoilers again. We traveled to Israel for like 14 days once together.
yeah.
But
No sticky fingers.
no undertones, okay, guys? I know you like to read into it, Stevie, but
I saw Josh float in the Dead Sea.
dude, it was honestly really good to have you on, Jason. I remember we used to do our birthdays are really close together. We used to golf between our birthdays.
Oh yeah,
that was a good time.
We gotta do that. So, what was I supposed to say now at the end? Everybody's a captain.
Man.
Oh. All right. Well, take it away, spoiler man. I should have done it like Columbo.
Special thank you to our patrons: Matt Troll, Brother Brian, Druid King, Nick, The Meg, Nurse Stacy, The Wolf, Barky 420, PK, Spencer, Gale, Swole, Cheese Zombie, Sebastian, Dr. Lar, Stone Cold Austin, Nephew Quinn, Best Friend Drew, Shatty Daddy, Jimmy the Cricket, Optimus E, the Ayatollah of rock and roll, Durs, Teddy Ruxpin. Please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast.
I won't do old Columbo. I can't do it. It's too sad.
That was Spoilers.